her wedding day, Amara's world is turned upside down when a mysterious woman interrupts the ceremony, unveiling secrets about her fiancé, Kofi. Who is this woman, and what truths has Kofi been hiding? Heartbroken, Amara embarks on a journey of healing, only to meet Malik, a captivating stranger with unexpected ties to her past. Can she overcome betrayal and find love again, or will the shadows of the past keep her from embracing her future? Amara stood before the mirror, her white wedding dress shimmering like a cascade of pearls. The delicate lace hugged her figure perfectly, and the veil framed her face like a soft halo. Today was the day she had dreamed of her entire life, marrying Kofi, the man she believed was her soulmate. Her mother entered the room, tears glistening in her eyes. "You look stunning, my dear," she whispered, adjusting a stray curl on Amara's forehead. "Thank you, Mama," Amara replied, her heart swelling with joy. "I can't believe this day is finally here." As the ceremony began, Amara walked down the aisle arm in arm with her father. The sun cast a golden glow through the stained glass windows of the church, bathing everything in warm light. Kofi awaited her at the altar, his eyes reflecting joy, love, and a hint of nervousness. Friends and family smiled as they passed, some wiping away tears of happiness. Just as the priest started the vows, the church doors swung open with a loud bang. The sudden noise startled everyone, and a hush fell over the congregation. A young woman named Zuri stormed in, her gaze fixed intently on Kofi. Her long braids swung behind her, and her eyes flashed with a mix of anger and desperation. "How could you, Kofi?" she shouted, her voice echoing through the hall. "You can't marry her," guests gasped, and murmurs rippled through the crowd like a rising tide. Amara turned to Kofi, confusion and alarm clouding her eyes. "Who is she?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. Kofi's face paled, beads of sweat forming on his brow. "Amara, I can explain," he stammered, his eyes darting between her and Zuri. Zuri stepped forward, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Tell her the truth, Kofi. Tell her about us." Amara's heart pounded in her chest. "What is she talking about, Kofi?" she demanded, her voice trembling. He looked down, unable to meet her gaze. "Zuri and we were together before I met you. I thought it was over, but it was never over," Zuri interrupted, her voice breaking. "You promised me we would be together. How can you stand here and marry someone else?" The weight of betrayal crushed Amara's chest. Tears welled up in her eyes as she stepped back from Kofi. "You lied to me," she whispered. The room spun around her, and the concerned faces of the guests blurred together, overwhelmed. Amara fled the church, her bridal train dragging behind her like a fallen banner. The whispers and gasps of the guests faded as she burst through the doors into the open air. Her best friend Nia chased after her, calling out, "Amara, wait!" Amara collapsed on a bench beneath an old baobab tree in the churchyard, sobbing uncontrollably. The ancient tree's sprawling branches seemed to offer shelter from the storm raging inside her. "Everything was a lie, Nia," she cried. "How could he betray me like this?" Nia embraced her tightly. "I'm so sorry," she said softly. "I had no idea." "Maybe there's an explanation." "An explanation won't mend my broken heart," Amara replied, wiping away tears that kept flowing. "I trusted him with everything." Nia sat beside her, holding her hand. "What are you going to do?" Amara took a shaky breath. "I can't stay here. I need to get away, to think." Determined to heal, Amara decided to leave the village. Despite her family's concerns, she packed her belongings and moved to a coastal town miles away, where the rolling waves and endless horizon promised solace. She rented a small cottage overlooking the sea, its white walls and blue shutters mirroring the colours of the sky and water. Amara spent her days painting murals that depicted strength, resilience, and the beauty of nature. She poured her emotions onto the canvas, each brushstroke a step toward healing. The local townspeople admired her work, and soon her art adorned cafes, shops, and public squares. She befriended Jaja, an elderly fisherman who often sat by the docks repairing his nets. They shared many conversations during sunset walks along the beach. "Life tests us in unexpected ways," he mused one evening, gazing out at the setting sun. "But it's how we rise afterward that defines us." Amara pondered his words, finding comfort in their simplicity. She began to rediscover herself, independent of the dreams she once tied to someone else. She learned to surf, tried new foods, and even taught art classes to local children. One afternoon, while sketching the vibrant marketplace, she met Malik, a traveller and photographer capturing the essence of coastal life. He had a warm smile and a curious spark in his eyes. "Your paintings are incredible," he remarked, approaching her. "They capture emotion in a way I've never seen." "Thank you," Amara replied, feeling a blush rise to her cheeks. "I try to paint what I feel." They connected instantly, sharing stories, laughter, and a mutual appreciation for art and culture. For the first time in months, Amara felt a genuine spark of joy. Over the following weeks, their friendship blossomed. They explored hidden coves, attended local festivals, and spent evenings discussing their dreams under the stars. But Malik harboured a secret. One evening, as the sky was painted with hues of pink and orange, he confessed, "I need to tell you something, Amara." She turned to him, noticing the seriousness in his tone. "What is it?" He took a deep breath. "Kofi is my brother." Amara's heart skipped a beat. The world seemed to stand still. "Why didn't you tell me?" she asked, a mix of shock and hurt in her voice. "I wanted you to know me for who I am, not just as his brother," Malik explained. "When I heard what happened, I felt compelled to find you, not to deceive you, but because I was drawn to your strength and the beauty of your art." Amara stood up, wrapping her arms around herself. "I've been hurt by secrets before," she said, her eyes glistening. "I understand," Malik said softly. "That's why I'm telling you now. I care about you, and I don't want any more lies between us." She looked into his eyes, searching for any sign of deceit, but found only sincerity. "I appreciate your honesty," she replied after a moment, "but I need time to process this." Malik nodded. "Take all the time you need. I'll be here if you want to talk." After days of contemplation, Amara decided she needed closure. She returned to her village, accompanied by Malik, to confront the past and find peace. They sought out Kofi and found him at his family's home. He was surprised to see them, especially Malik. "What are you doing here?" Kofi asked, confusion etched on his face. "We need to talk," Amara said firmly. As they sat down, the tension in the room was palpable. Amara took a deep breath. "I deserve the truth, Kofi. Why did you betray me? Why did you hide your relationship with Zuri?" Kofi sighed heavily. "You deserve an explanation," he admitted. "My family pressured me into an arranged marriage to strengthen our social standing. I was torn between my duty and my heart." Zuri entered the room quietly, her eyes red from tears. "We never meant to hurt you," she said to Amara. "Societal expectations trapped us all." Amara felt a mixture of anger and empathy. "You should have been honest," she said. "We all deserve the truth. Instead, your choices caused unnecessary pain." Kofi lowered his head. "I know, and I'm sorry. I've decided to break away from our family's demands. I can't live a lie anymore." Malik placed a hand on his brother's shoulder. "It's time we all face the truth and make our own paths." Amara felt a weight lift from her shoulders. The confrontation brought her the closure she needed. She forgave Kofi and Zuri, not for their sake, but to free herself from the burden of resentment. Returning to the coastal town, Amara and Malik grew closer, their relationship founded on honesty and mutual respect. They collaborated on projects, combining art and photography to tell stories of resilience and hope. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with shades of gold and purple, Malik turned to Amara. "Thank you for giving me a chance," he said softly. Amara smiled. "Thank you for being honest with me. Together we can create something beautiful." Free from the shadows of the past, Amara embraced the future with confidence. Through betrayal and heartache, she found inner strength and a love built on truth. Thank you for joining Jom's journey and experiencing the power of acceptance and resilience with us. If you found her story inspiring, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned for more captivating tales ahead. Until next time, farewell.